Before we begin our podcast, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For Cass, it's the Borragagal people, and for Hayley, it's the Dharawal people.
Gotta get the cobwebs out of the way.
Spooky, spooky, Halloween, drag me out. Welcome to our lair.
I'm Hayley.
And I'm Cass.
I feel like I could get something out of that.
Welcome to the Halloween episode, everybody.
Yeah, we don't really celebrate Halloween here, but we thought we'd just do something fun.
Just for you.
Yes. This took a while. This is my first attempt. Don't read me for it.
Actually, it looks pretty good. Not gonna lie.
I am Sally Shock from The Nightmare. What is it? The Night Before Christmas. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
God, if you're gonna sell it right.
I can't remember the name. I always get it mixed up. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
A Nightmare Before Christmas?
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
The Tim Burton movie, right?
Correct.
And I'm Nothing This Pretty Can Be Real.
You're giving me like boxer vibes. Like you're in the red corner. We've got Cass. So,
Yeah.
how was your week?
I had a okayish, not really blah week. Did the office thing again, did some swimming thing again, felt pretty cool yesterday. I was just tired and lethargic and was just feeling really run down.
Mhm.
But I'm better now. Oh, I've been having the worst fucking relationship with food this week because my stomach's just feeling blah all the time. Had dinner with some lovely young ladies from my workplace.
Mhm.
I got nominated for an award this week.
Nice.
Yeah. Outstanding internal customer service. So what I'm getting from that is I'm really nice to my workmates, but fuck the rest of the world.
People are assholes, so who cares?
Yeah. And then other than that, it was just It was just a week. How was your week?
Bit stressful. I just got a lot going on. Like after I found out that for the trivia night, we have to dress up. So I had to rush around everywhere to try and find dress ups because I couldn't order anything because everything was going to come too late. But as you saw, I got my husband's costume sorted out. Now I just have to do mine. Waiting on some Dangerfield tights. They're like, because it's 80s, their one leg is black and one leg is green.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, that'll do. I bought most of the clothes I got from Kmart. Yes, they're still stuck in the 80s. I got I looked at it and it's an MTV shirt, which MTV came out in the 80s. You were there, so you would know.
Correct.
And it was tie-dye pink. So I was like, perfect. And I'm going to make that into a little off the shoulder. Been watching some tutorials on how to do that. So I'm going to do that this week and then just wear fluoro shit. Mine's all in the accessories and makeup. Like I'm going real 80s makeup, like just big eyes and colorful everything. Also, I used on my eyes the kimchi stuff, and the pigment's great. So I'm going to definitely use that for 80s makeup.
So with the t-shirt, how you got off the shoulder, is it going to be off both shoulders or only off one?
Just one, I think.
Okay, so you need to shoulder pad the one that it's not off.
My grandmother, because I raided her house for old clothes because she's a hoarder and she can't get rid of anything. And I found 2 puffer jackets, one for Mitchell, which is like blocked red, black, and white, which is perfect. And then the one that I stole for myself was like this awful purple, multicolored, flowery disaster. Like they smell, it smells like an op shop, like in my grandmother's house in her cupboards. So yeah, I've found that, and that actually matches the pink shirt that I got, but it doesn't really have to match because let's face it, it's the 80s and they weren't all about matching. So
Don't be like
yes.
that.
So it was like it just fit because I couldn't think of what to do, and we're like, oh, do we do couples costume or do we do something? And I was like, you know what, neon leg warmers, you can't really go wrong. Getting like a Madonna vibe with my hair, like big side pony, crimp it, curl it, whatever. So that's what I'm gonna do this week. That's what I've been organizing. So that's pretty much it.
Nice. The
Yeah.
80s.
I do love a good dress
Yeah.
up. I thought Mitchell would be like, nah, not dressing up. And then I was looking at 80s costumes and he goes, I want to look at 80s costumes. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm like, I feel like you're low-key into this. He's like, I'm so into this. He's like, I will wear whatever you want me to wear. I'm like, I'll remember that when you're in like a Richard Simmons outfit.
Sweating to the oldies.
There
Yeah.
was a good men's swimsuit over the tights outfit that I could have gotten.
Mhm.
But, you know, I was a bit nice. I was like,
Yeah,
no
you
one needs to
can't.
see your junk. So,
Yeah. No, I mean, you don't even want to see it. So why
no,
would the rest of the world?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So how are you doing with food this week?
I'm a bit off and on. Like, I grabbed some sushi. The sushi wasn't like great. I just picked it up because I was just walking past it and I was like, you know what? That'll do me for a couple meals. It wasn't the worst sushi I've had, but it wasn't the best sushi I've had. But it did the job. I had 2 rolls every now and again because that was what I felt like. Yeah, like it's hard to be organized and meal prep because you meal prep or you cook something and then the next meal you're like, I really don't feel like
Don't
eating
want
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm wasting a lot of food. Like I had the bulgogi, let me say this right. I went to Woolies and I got the already marinated beef strips, the bulgogi
Mhm.
beef strips, and I did a few, like maybe 2-3 meals out of it. There's still heaps. There's still probably like more than half, and I just don't feel like it. So I think I'm gonna have to throw it out.
Mm. Anything that we don't eat from meal prep goes in the freezer. So then we can just reheat it at another time.
Yeah, I don't have a great like a big freezer, so like it's hard for us to sort of prep like that.
Right.
And then I get weird about meat in the freezer too. I'm weird with food. I was weird with food pre-surgery, so now I'm just like doubly as weird.
Mm.
But yes, I haven't really tried much new. It's basically just been coleslaw and whatever meat I choose. And the coleslaw, oh, thank God for Kewpie mayo. Like, it is my favorite mayo in the world. And it's very expensive, but we go through it like nothing else.
We love it too. But is it Kewpie or Kewpie?
I don't know, Kewpie. I bought the sriracha one because I wanted to try that one. I don't want the wasabi one. That's going to be a bit too spicy for me.
No, but we use Kewpie,
Kewpie.
the Japanese mayonnaise.
Yes.
We that's the only mayonnaise that we have in the house.
Yeah, ever since I found it, that's all we have.
Yeah.
But they make
And
meals bearable, I guess.
yes, they do. You're right.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Oh, I forgot. I went to the doctor's and I got my pathology request form. I
Mhm.
haven't done it yet. I'm going to do it on Monday. So I will go get my blood test done. I have been taking my vitamins.
Oh, well done. Well, at least you'll register on your blood tests.
Yeah, I'm still losing my hair though. I feel like I'm going bald.
I never got that. I never got it.
I don't know what like losing your hair you're low in. I'm not sure.
Well, that's the whole point of the collagen. The powder blue packet.
Yeah, no, I do have that. I just never use it. All right, I'll use it. Okay.
Yeah, can you use it? Because I used it and then just didn't need it.
Well, look, I've got really thick hair anyway, so it's fine. But I do want to change the color of it, and I won't be able to until I get it. The growth
I changed the color of my hair. You want to see it?
Yes.
I'm a lollipop.
Oh my God, that looks amazing.
Thank you. I'm a lollipop.
Great drag hair. You just need the makeup to go with it. For those listening, she's wearing like a rainbow bob.
I am wearing a rainbow bob.
I'm not hating it.
It's lovely. I don't remember. I've forgotten what it was like to have this much hair, though. A pretty girl
What?
is like a melody. Yes.
What burst your pancreas this week?
I had a choice between, two things.
Mhm.
And I just went for the easier one because I need you to tell me whether or not what I'm about to say is correct.
Mhm.
Okay. So, what burst my pancreas this week is when you send a text message. You're actually good with replies. So, this is definitely not a slide on you at all.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so when you send a text message that you haven't sent to somebody that you haven't sent a message to for ages,
Mhm.
right? Because everyone's life gets busy and all of that other stuff. I'm really mesmerized by my hair right now. It's so shiny. And so you send a text message and you don't get a reply 4 days later when you check again. But like it wasn't that you go to your phone and check every single day. You just happen to be sending a message to somebody else and you notice that that one has been read but hasn't been responded. Is that ghosting?
Depends. Like you're not trying to date this person.
No.
So
No.
yeah,
No,
like
no, no, no.
I don't without like contextual knowledge, like what was the text message? Was it, hey, how you going? Or hey, I need something, or
It was, hey, how you going?
may have been ghosted, but like sometimes you just get busy. Like okay, so a perfect example of this is like if someone sends me a text message late at night and I'll open it, but I won't read it, and then I'll put it down and then I'll forget about it. Like, do you know, like, or, it's during the day and I'll be at work and I can't use my phone and I'll quickly have a look at it, put my phone away, and then just forget the message. Just sometimes other things take priority, obviously. And then like I'll be scrolling through my messages. I'll be like, oh shit, I didn't reply to this person.
What about if this person is synonymous with texting late? This is where my pancreas is about to burst. Okay. So it's one of those things where you don't hear, God, this hair's great. So they just don't answer back. And I'll be honest. Okay. It's not like I text every day to this person. It's like the nose is so itchy because the wig is like, it's really annoying.
Not end one. Okay.
No, not end one. This is from the wig because it's like it's making me itch. But like I send a text message maybe once every 6 months.
And have they responded to the previous ones?
Yeah, but like this one has been read and not responded to. And I can actually tell you the fact is, right, that I sent this text message to this person in particular last Sunday, 6 days ago. And it says read. Like, if I've offended this person, I highly doubt it because we haven't even spoken on the phone for nearly a year. But we send messages like that to each other. We send messages to each other every now and then, like once every couple of months or whatever it is. And like, just if you don't want to talk to me anymore, just send a fucking message and go, you know what? It's been nice having you in my life, but I don't have time for you. I'll be like, cool. No worries. Because then I can delete the text chain, the SMS chain. Right? And I don't have to worry about it. Like, I'm manicuring a friendship still. What the hell is wrong with you?
This is what happened to me. I can't remember if I told you or not. So Taylor, my hairdresser, shout out, sent me a message saying, look, I'm really sorry, but I have to move your hair appointment. I've got this really great opportunity. So it means that I'll be like lessening my hours because she works for herself sometimes. And she works out of her friend's thing. And she's like, and I've got this great opportunity and blah, 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 blah. And my son, who had my phone at the time, wrote back, okay. So I didn't see the message. And it wasn't until I went to send her a message to something sparked my interest. And I was like, oh, so I'll send it to Kayla. And then I've looked at it and I'm like, what's this message? Like, I don't remember reading a really long message off her. And I read it and I was like, oh shit, like, what the hell? It was like a week later. And I responded to her being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, my son read the message and he, you know, it just got flicked down in my messages and I just didn't see it. And she's like, oh, I was like low key really upset. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. It felt like I was just being really unsupportive. Like I couldn't care less what you were doing. That could have been the situation. I would give it one more shot. Go, hey, how you going? Do it like Sunday, like do it in nighttime.
But see, here's the thing, right? So, and this is the bit that gets my pancreas. It's not just one in particular. It's like, it happens a couple of times with people. And I have other friends who bitch about it, about other friends and all of that other stuff. It's like, just send the fucking message back. Go, hey, how you going? Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I've taken the time out. You have jumped into my thought process. I have taken the time out to go, hey, I know I've got a busy life, but I'm just going to find out if this person's okay.
Maybe they're not okay. Sometimes I just go through phases where I just don't want to message anybody. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of effort to message someone, even though it's not. But, you know, you don't ever know what someone's really going through. So I would suggest giving it one more shot. And if you don't get anything back, then maybe they just want to end the friendship.
Which is fine with me.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine with me. That's great. But just fucking come out and say it.
Some people don't like confrontation though.
You and I both know this person has no problem with confrontation. A pancreas bursting part, it's not overly burst. It's just have the decency to send a message back.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. It's not that. It was 6 days ago. It wasn't even 4 days ago. It was 6 days ago.
One of two options. Either it slipped under the radar or she just doesn't want to talk anymore.
And that's fine because it's not like we talk anyway.
Or they don't want to talk anymore.
They don't want to talk anymore. Pronouns.
Pronouns.
You're right. So makeup would look great with this.
You're just obsessed with yourself.
I really am.
I can't really say anything because I'm just staring at myself too.
Oh, I stare at you every now and then, but a pretty girl is like a melody. Anyway, so what? See, my pancreas wasn't overly burst this week. I did have another one, but I'm saving that for next week. It's going to be a barn burner.
Because I had to rush around on Friday to try and organize this costume, obviously that led me to places that I do not like going. Shopping centers. We're going back there.
Went to one last week. Yeah.
And what I don't like in shopping centers, there's lots of things that I don't like. What I don't like in particular is when I'm accosted by a salesperson. So, for instance, went into Foot Locker, I want to say, and it wasn't overly busy, and 4 referees came at me like I'm a linebacker about to fight someone.
You get some shoes.
Yeah. I was like really like, ooh, like taken aback, like, no, it's okay. I can shop for myself. If I need your help in sizing, I'm going to find you. And then it happened again. I went into another shoe store. He's like, oh, can I help you with anything? And I'm like, shoes. Or, no, sorry. He asked me, he goes, what are you looking for? And I'm like, shoes. Because it's a shoe store.
I was looking for some way. Can you give me a sandwich?
He took it as a joke, which I meant it as a joke, but I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just like, it was just really dead quiet. But anyway, so the second time I visited the mall on Friday, I just like every time I was looking at something, I was looking for something specific, more neon things than anything. And they just like pop out of nowhere and be, hello, can I help you with anything? Like, no, it's fine. Like if I need your help, I'm gonna find you. So you just toddle on, do what you need to do. I never have a face that says I need help. It's always like resting bitch face. Do not come near me until I approach you. And I'll try not to use excuse me, but sometimes you have to because they're like off in the fairies. But it's not really a big one this week, but I got like sensory overload being in a shopping center. There was just people everywhere. And I went into H&M and they just have crap everywhere. Like it's just too much. Too much.
There are shopping centers and department stores and all of that over in Europe and stuff. So if you pick up a basket, it has a red tag that can turn around to a green tag, right? So if it's a red tag, it means that you don't want any assistance. And if it's green, it means that you do. You can put a tag that just hangs off your wrist and you can just choose the color that you want. So if you need assistance or whatever it is, you wear the green one. And if you don't, you do the red one. And then that way you don't have people come up and annoy you. I think it's fantastically simple idea.
Maybe I just wear like a large necklace saying fuck off unless I speak to you first.
Maybe. But you know, this just popped into my head. They do it with toilets in, I know some European countries, but I know they do it in Japan. So you know how like at the shopping center car park where you look up and it's got the little red light or the little green light? They have those above the toilet doors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can tell whether or not it's vacant or not. And I was looking at another thing on the interwebs a few months ago. There's a lighting panel as you actually walk into the bathroom, and say there's like 8 stalls or whatever it is. There's lights for each one of them, and it tells you if it's available or not before you even walk into where the toilet stalls are. It's
That's a great idea.
So simple, right?
Yeah.
Fucking geniuses in the Northern Hemisphere. We don't think of shit like that.
Like I'm just getting more to a point in my life where I just want people to leave me alone. That's it. If I come to you and ask for help, then okay. But most of the time.
You'd think people would still have the aftermath of the pandemic where it's just like, I'll just leave people alone.
Yeah.
No. So our pancreases weren't overly bursting this week. They were just slightly irritated and miffed.
Yeah. Lackluster pancreas this week.
Yeah, but you know, some weeks are better than others.
You need to stop playing with your hair.
It's getting in my glasses, in the little crevices in my glasses now.
Just looks like you're pruning yourself. I feel you should have worn this for like 3 days so you just got used to it.
I wore it the other day and I was so uncomfortable in it. I was actually sweating in it, and I had it on for a grand total of 40 seconds. So what I've had to do is put the aircon on because I had the wig and then I had the hood and the cloak, and I was like, put the aircon on, otherwise you're just going to look like you're glistening, like really glistening. So let's move into our next segment, which is the fucking movie reviews.
I'm just warning you now. One's going to be a long one.
Okay, well, you could go first because I think mine's going to be very short.
Okay, all right. So you tasked me with Mary Lou Prom Night 2 on Amazon. I can't remember what year it was made.
87, I think.
I'll just do a quick premise.
Okay.
I'm hoping that no one has ever watched this movie besides you.
Oh, me and the friends from high school. Yeah.
That too.
Actually, the cinema was packed, if I recall correctly.
Not much to do. So first it starts with a confessional and Mary Lou is being a slutty pants. And then it cuts to her going to the prom with one guy, then goes with another guy behind the stage to have naughty times. And that's just accepted by everyone. Everyone was like, yeah, no worries, Mary Lou.
It was the 80s.
You do what you
Free
need
love.
to do.
Yeah.
The boyfriend catches her. She's like, get over it. She wins prom queen, and then the guy she just cheated on goes above the stage and throws a supposed stink bomb, but then it accidentally sets her on fire. She goes up fast with all that tulle, but no one seems to help her as she just burns alive in front of everyone and dies.
Mm-hmm.
Then that was like the 1950s. Then they cut to when it was, I'm guessing,
Present
80s.
day.
Yeah, present day.
Yeah.
And they cut to another girl getting ready to go to the prom. The principal is the guy that killed her. Apparently, no one goes to jail for murder these days. Then the girl goes into this creepy basement to look for another dress because her mum won't buy her one. And she finds a creepy chest and opens it, finds the tiara that was supposed to be on Mary Lou's head. Obviously, that creates Mary Lou's ghost. She comes back. It's really weird. Her friend found out she was pregnant. Then she was playing with the crown and a stone fell out. Then a wind came out of nowhere and she was murdered by the cape. And then it threw her out the window. Then the main one, Vicky, was her name. She's having flashbacks of 1957.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unsure why the principal would want to be the principal after he murdered a girl there. I'd feel like I'd want to get far away. But anyway, that was a bit weird. The creepy rocking horse in the room that had like the tongue. I was like, what is this? And then she gets molested by the ghost and sheets, and the rocking horse comes to life. The creepy priest, was the ex, was the other guy that she cheated with, Mary Lou, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Father Cooper, I think. Yeah. He tries an exorcism and that doesn't work. What a shock. Then he tells the principal that she's coming after them. He doesn't believe him. And he's like, I'm protected because I'm a priest, but you need to take communion to be protected. Vicky starts to lose it, slaps the shit out of the mean girl because she looks like Mary Maloney. She gets attacked by a blackboard that turns into water, and then she gets dragged into it. The CGI, just first class, might I say. Like, couldn't tell it was fake. And then Mary Lou then kills the priest. Then the creepy teacher grabs Vicky's butt. She sets fire to his penis with a Bunsen burner. Oh, okay. So obviously this was so the boys would watch it. Then she gets in the shower with her best friend. Then what can only be described as a naked chase ensues. Then her friend hides in the locker. Then she uses her power to squish the lockers together. And then Mary Lou obviously is in Vicky's body by this point, tongues her dad, which was disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though it wasn't, but it was gross.
Mm-hmm.
He seemed into it, which actually made it even worse. She goes to prom, but before she goes to the prom, she leaves an answering machine message on her answering machine saying that she's at the prom. So that seems like a current thing to do. I think she murdered her mum. I'm not really sure. She pushed her mum out or something. I don't know if she died. Then the guy who does the prom voting gets a blowjob from the mean girl so she can win. And he went to change it, and Mary Lou electrocuted him through the computer. Then the guy who originally murdered Mary Lou shoots her again, and the boyfriend, who looks like Frankenstein at this point, is like, no. Yet again, no one helps her, and they discover that the principal did it. Then Vicky convulses, and a whole body of the burnt Mary Lou breaks out of the mean girl, like something out of like Predator. Comes out of her stomach. She chases the boyfriend into the basement, into the weird trunk vortex. Then the dad comes in with the tiara and calmly, as his son is being sucked into a vortex, places the tiara on her head and then kisses her. Then Vicky crawls out of the weird trunk and she's alive and well. And then apparently everyone is like, well, Vicky didn't kill anyone, so she's free to go. Bye. And the town doesn't really care about murderers. And then they get in the car, and lo and behold, the dad is actually Mary Lou. And, he takes them off, and you never know what happens to them. Obviously, they probably got murdered. There was no Mary Lou Prom Night 3, thank Christ.
You checked?
I didn't check, but I just assumed. I couldn't work out if this was one of the worst horror movies I've ever seen or one of the best pornos. I haven't made up my mind.
Uh-huh.
It was schlocky. It was The story was shit. It was quite possibly the worst thing I've ever watched. I'm never going to get that hour and a half back in my life. Thank you. I
You
guess
are
that's
welcome.
my payback for Sharknado.
Twilight. I haven't paid you back for Sharknado yet.
Twilight. So as for my rating, 5 roast chickens. You can take all the roast chickens. 27 roast chickens. If that's what it takes. That was the worst fucking thing I've ever watched.
You're welcome.
Yes, thanks for that. Now, I'm legend.
Took me 3 attempts because I struggled with Will Smith in general.
This is pre-slap though. Pre-slap.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I didn't care. I didn't like him before the slap anyway.
Yeah.
I told you, him and his wife go to the opening of a fucking envelope. Like, they're just everywhere and they're annoying. And I do not believe that Will Smith is the great actor that everybody thinks that he is. I do not believe that he deserved the Academy Award, even regardless of the circumstance that led to it 10 minutes earlier. I don't know. So I'm going to give you a very, very small premise for this movie, right? He's in a post-apocalyptic world. Some disease takes over the place. New York City is cordoned off, blah, blah, blah. Everybody dies. Him and his dog are left. And it turns out that not only is he a lieutenant colonel in the army, but he's also a scientist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Flaw number 1. Will Smith as a scientist is not plausible and is definitely not convincing. Throw it out there. He strangles his fucking dog.
I actually said to my husband after I gave it to you, it was actually a couple of days later because I haven't seen the movie in forever. And I'm like, oh no, she's going to hate me. He's like, what? I'm like, he kills the dog. I'm like, I forgot. I forgot he killed the dog.
You know what happened after that?
Mm.
I stopped watching. I couldn't continue it. I do not support any animal cruelty, even if it is, for make believe and all of that other stuff. They could have killed the dog another way. Like, the dog got bitten by, and here is my issue. Here's one of my other issues. Like, Will Smith and killing the dog are 2 issues. Here's my other issue. Why is it whenever somebody gets zombie killed or vampires, like whatever, regardless of their height, color, size, everything, they always just look like these skinny, scrawny things that look exactly the same?
Yeah, I get you.
Right? So the CGI actually started out okay. And then, like, as I said, I turned it off. And then I made an attempt again to watch it again. And, like, as the movie got on, the CGI got worse.
I can't actually remember. The only part that I remember that creeps me the fuck out is when he's talking to the mannequin. Frank,
Yes.
I think it's called.
Yeah,
and
in
then,
the street.
Yeah, and then he realizes like that they've trapped him. That was the scariest part because they like sort of calculated it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's when poor Sam, the poor dog, got attacked by zombie dogs. Like, what? And then, I started to cry because I don't like watching animals get hurt in movies, even if it is make-believe or anything like that. And then he strangled the dog.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. My bad.
I'm going to give you my rating right now. Okay? Mm-hmm. My rating right now is 537 fucking roast chickens. Will Smith was 200 of them alone. Because I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if there are people who love him out there. Come for me. I'll fucking fight you in a street. I'll fight you in a car park. I'll fight you in a regular park. I'll fight you behind the toilet sheds. Whatever it is. Will Smith is a shit actor. Plain and simple. Shit. He maybe had one good movie, and that's probably the one he should have won the Academy Award for, right? But I don't like him. He puts his nepotism is really strong in the fucking Will Smith family because his bloody kids are in everything.
Yeah, and they're shit too.
They're shit too. And the kid is in the backseat of the car in one of the scenes, and it was so annoying. I'm like, please, zombie, take the child.
Yeah, I forgot they killed the dog.
They killed the dog. No, I will not tolerate this no more. Stop killing. They could have just had like the dog get bitten and then like he take it home but having said all of that, I understand the context behind it all because the dog was the last link to his family.
Correct.
I get that, right? So he basically had to kill the last remaining thing of his family. However, they could have implied it. See, it's hurting my heart just talking about it. No. And Sam was beautiful.
Yes.
And the bloody Dark Walkers or whatever they were, like, what is this? Fucking modern day Game of fucking Thrones? Piss off. No. 537 chickens. Count them. No. I had to remind myself that the reason why you gave this movie was for Halloween because I was going to go on a rant and do this. It's not a fucking cult movie. Anybody who watches this movie for a second time should be shot. It doesn't even deserve a first look. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was crap. Don't ever give me that again.
I'll try not to give you stuff where animals die because I
can't do it.
I can't usually do it either, but I completely forgot about it. Otherwise I would have given you the other one that I thought of.
Which was?
Hush. It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to watch it now.
No, it's a very... I won't put this in there because it's boring. But she's a mute and she's deaf, and then she gets stalked by some dude, and it's creepy AF. Anyway, 500 and how many chickens?
537.
What have you got for me this week?
I had a choice between two. I discussed this at length with my wife this afternoon. And she said to me, how much payback do you want to give Hayley? I went, oh, both of them are equally going to be as bad. However, one is 3 hours and 20 minutes long.
Can you give that to me the following week? I just won't have time to do that.
Yeah, because I didn't choose it. I didn't choose it. So this week, you can find it on YouTube. See, I'm giving you YouTube stuff here.
YouTube stuff, yeah. Okay.
Troop Beverly Hills.
Troop Beverly Hills. Never heard of it.
And I'm just going to say this in advance. You're welcome. And it's nice being your friend. It's been lovely.
Okay. So
you're going to hate it. It's going to be so good.
I'm going to go with 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, it's got heterosexual stuff in it.
So I'm taking you haven't seen it?
Oh, why would you do that to me?
Because Mary Lou prom night 2.
Twilight and Sharknado. And I Am Legend.
I've given you some good ones.
Maybe 3.
Well, you haven't given me any. I think 1.
Excuse me. I've
2.
given you Clue. I've given you Elvira. I have given you Hercules Returns.
3.
Even each. Watch 50 Shades because I think you should find a gay person's perspective on heterosexual bullshit.
It's a bit gross. Even I find it gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is going to be
50 fucking Shades of Grey. Call it grey. Let's just call it 50 roast chickens, right? Let's just call it right now.
And mine is what? I forget already.
Troop Beverly Hills.
That brings us to the time in the pageant where we talk about Drag Race UK.
Drag Race, yuck. Yeah.
Snatch game.
Snatch games. Snatch game. What to make.
I called it. I told you if John Best did an Irish character, she would kill it.
Yeah, right?
I called that. I knew that LaFille was going to do an Asian character. I thought it would have been funnier, but you can't make Marie Kondo funny.
No,
No.
you cannot.
I also called that Danny Beard was going to shit the bed.
Oh, it wasn't that bad.
I couldn't understand a single word that he says. Also, I don't know who
that's the
that
whole point of
person is.
Cilla Black. Yeah, that's the whole point of Cilla Black. So you need to have been born around my time and slightly earlier.
I
and
think
you'd know who
Pixie
Cilla Black was.
Polite, she just didn't, there was no punchline. There was like, she was telling a joke, but there was no punchline. So it wasn't funny. I thought she would have done better.
I think she was the Trixie Mattel of this season. Trixie Mattel's RuPaul. I think it was kind of it. Because she was like, and diamonds are forever, and diamond this and diamond that. And it's like, dude.
Diamonds aren't funny.
Dame Shirley Bassey, there's so much more that she could have done. But she didn't. And don't even start me on Black Pepper and that fucking little Nas X bullshit. The only thing that she nailed in that was the accent.
I see. I've never heard Lil Nas talk, so
it doesn't even matter. Like, she actually nailed the American accent. So that was
honestly, he should have just played on that one song, Old Town Road, and just played on it. Like, just played the shit out of that song. Like, just be in that video, because really that's his little breakout video, and that's the only thing that I know that Lil Nas has sung, because I'm not a huge fan. Dakota Shipper, very surprising. I don't know who Pete Burns is though, so I still found it funny.
Pete Burns is a singer of Dead or Alive. You spin me right round, baby. Like, went through somewhat of surgery phase.
Okay.
And rest in peace, Pete Burns, because Pete Burns died about 4 or 5 years ago, I think.
That was one of the jokes, which I actually found quite funny. We have Cheddar, who the moment she opened her mouth and had those black teeth, I just thought this is just going to be great. And she killed it, picked her to win it. Her runway was gorgeous, nailed it there.
Right. The story behind it, I actually did not know the story behind the pink triangle.
I didn't know there was a pink triangle. I didn't understand.
I honestly didn't know. And then, but if you watch Todrick Hall's her hats, gloves, shoes, shirt film clip, there's a pink triangle in there the whole time, right?
Okay.
And it is synonymous in the gay community. However, I didn't know the significance of it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's what they used to identify gay people in the Holocaust. A, I found it educational, and B, I actually found the runway quite moving.
Yeah, I agree.
And Cheddar Gorgeous won, and deservedly so, because like none of us knew what QE1 sounded like, but like she did great. And the runway was just everything. Like the other runways were okay and fine, and a couple of snatch games were okay, but no, Cheddar totally deserved that. I was all for that win.
Obviously, it was Black Pepper and LaFille who had to lip sync in the bottom, and we said goodbye to LaFille.
I wanted Black Pepper gone. I've not been on the Black Pepper wagon. I don't even like pepper in my food.
Me either.
And I went, oh God, please let it be this week, because it was actually really close. They actually did really well. And poor LaFleur had to wear those bloody stupid platforms while she was doing it.
He started stripping again.
I know, like, oh God, skinny boy body, pass. No, I don't need to see your rib cage, sweetheart. Like, no.
So fair enough, LaFille had that large hoop thing on. So
yeah, she would have just knocked everybody off the stage if she'd done 112.
So I was fine with her taking that off. But yeah, just
LaFleur went home.
And now you don't have to learn her name anymore. So
I think I just said it wrong earlier. I think
you
I
said
just
it wrong like 17 times. You just said it wrong then. You said LaFleur went home. LaFille.
Sorry, LaFille. Please come on our podcast. Don't worry. I'll learn your name, I promise.
You said it
so
about 4 times, like Le Fleur. I thought you were doing it on purpose.
I,
Turns out, no.
I think of the Le Fleur lady set. Is it Le Fleur lady sanitary napkins? Is it Le Fleur?
Ah.
I think it's Le Fleur. I think that's where I'm getting it from.
Well, there is a Le Fleur. I just don't know what it's from.
So Le Fil, sorry, I caught myself. Le Fil is gone. God, I hope it's black pepper next week. So it actually looks quite interesting because it looks like someone really blows it and someone really knocks it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be very, very good. I'm still team Danny Beard the whole way.
You let me down in Snatch Game, Danny. You let me down.
Yeah, but I at least know who Cilla Black is. So
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. Like, some people just have a bad snatchy snatch game. And don't forget, Rue had Danny not only second guess, but third guess, fourth guess, and fifth guess.
Yeah, he should have just stuck with what he had.
Yeah,
I think he would have killed it.
probably. So instead of listening to his own saboteur, he listened to the RuPaul saboteur instead. So yeah, I think next week should be interesting. I happened to look at the cast list of Canada versus the world.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look that bad, the casting.
Okay.
So UK's only got maybe another 3 or 4 weeks ago, and Drag Race Canada versus the world is the next cab off the rank.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Won't be hosted by RuPaul though.
Brooklyn?
Yeah.
I love Brooklyn, so I don't care.
I just like looking at Brooklyn.
Yeah. She purdy.
She is pretty. And as usual, every week, Hero Huggers by Rennie, pillowcases, get them. Christmas is happening. If you get in now, you'll get them in time for Christmas.
Oh, I disappear.
Haley is basically her own pillowcase right now.
Yeah, I can't show.
Looking grouse, looking great. These are great quality. Don't forget the 3 books by the fabulous Wonder Mama. Fabulous story of Wonder Mama, Parade Pandemonium, and It's Okay to Be Me, available on Amazon and Etsy. If you get the ones on Etsy, they're the autographed ones. You need an autograph from the fabulous Wonder Mama. Get it in now before Christmas runs out. As in, you won't get it in time for Christmas. You want to get it in time for Christmas. And the pillowcases are amazing. Buy them. Fuck's sake, start listening to us and buy this stuff. Jesus. The local drag shows coming up this week. So Death Becomes Her with Illawarra and Roxy Horror at the Vault, November 19th. Tickets are $35. In November, Charismatic will be performing in Soiree, the Drag Circus Dinner Cabaret, the 11th of November, Club York, 95 to 99. York Street, Sydney, 6 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Every Wednesday at the King's Cross Hotel, Maxi Shield hosts the Big Fact Hunt Trivia Night starting at 7 p.m. Also, side note, Triple D's is back on because Maxi's finished the Drag Race Down Under Season 2 tour. So Triple D's is back up at Ginger's at the Oxford, 9 p.m. every Saturday night. Karen from Finance will be at the Factory Theatre in Marrickville on November 24th, 8 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Tickets are available on livenation.com.au. Vanity and Maxi Shield's Silver Jubilee tickets are available from the ITD events page. These shows all start at 7 p.m. and it is the 2nd of December at Chase's Nightclub in Melbourne, the 3rd of December at Mary's Poppin' in Adelaide, the 4th of December at Beresford Upstairs in Sydney. Check them out because it looks like it's actually going to be a good night, except the standing room, and I don't do standing. If I'm going to pay money for a gig, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit. So we now have new friends to the podcast, a food and catering business in Wollongong called Fanny's Fab Fair. They can do catering in your homes as well as trailer events such as festivals and breweries. I would also assume corporate events. For an extra fee, Miss Fanny Glamour can get dressed up for private parties, and for an additional 1 to 2 hours of time for an extra cost, they can also call on some other drag queens, including Ruby Jubilee, Beyonce. This drag name's great, and I'm surprised no one else has ever thought of it. Lauren Order. Lauren Order. It has a great drag name. Roxy Horror and Cherry Ripe. You can look for Fanny's Fab Fair on Insta at Fanny's Fab Fair, and on the interwebs at fannysfabfair.com. Go support your local drag queens. Go support the drag queens. Give them money so they can do it full time and they can follow their passion. Their passion for fashion. Kiss, kiss. Like, just do it. Just go. Pay the money. Crying out loud. Fucking go see him.
And that brings us to the end of our spooky podcast.
Ooh. Don't forget on the YouTubes to hit like and subscribe. We still only have 24 followers. Can we start bringing it up a little bit, please? When you watch it, can you please hit like and subscribe? Don't forget to follow us on the Instas at DragMeOutOfficial, and sometimes on the TikToks. Where else can you find us? You can find us on streaming platforms. You can find us on iTunes, on Spotify, on Amazon, on iHeartRadio, on other places. If you just like type it in, we may be there. You just don't know unless you actually look for us. But thank you for watching us or listening to us on our Halloween episode. Ooh. Goodbye. Good night, children. I'll see you in your nightmares. Ooh.
My head's falling off.